Hi, it's me again. So you're getting a lot of me the last 2-3 days, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity. I'm here at Yale at the conference on consciousness studies, the Society for Consciousness Studies, and I'm with Dr.
Reverend, actually.
Reverend Tiffany Barsotti, who is an energy healer, a medical intuitive, and many more things. But let's start this conversation. So tell me a little bit about your background, Tiffany.
The background is that I had a wake-up call, and I needed to respond to the wake-up call. I had so-called gifts when I was young, but I was a reluctant healer. I didn't want this job to be in this role. So I went into the music industry and had a whole career there for 22 years. And then I got sick from living across the street from Ground Zero in New York when they were taking apart the buildings. That process, I actually went to go see a medical intuitive, and she comes out of her trance-like state and she says, you have 3 days to make up your mind. And I wanted to pretend like I didn't know what she was talking about. And I needed to get on my path. So my path was to step into my role. Who am I? What am I doing? And so it wasn't to be in the music industry, even though I was having fun doing what we were doing. It was not my path. My path is more down the path of energy.
How does it work?
How does energy work?
Yeah. How does energy healing work?
That's a fabulous question. Resonance, first of all, if the opposite of resonance is dissonance, and so the dissonance means that the cell or the body is not in a receiving mode, and so there's something can't get in. That could be a belief system, that could be literally a part of the body that's just not ready to heal yet, a lot emotional. I find the key for true deep healing is that it's emotional. We have to get to the emotional root causes.
So would you say maybe emotions epigenetically trigger gene activity?
Absolutely.
And that's what's your process?
There's a lot of processes. What I find is that it's not a one-size-fits-all world.
Yeah.
And I'm paying attention for what I feel is going to be the resonance for that person. In the resonance, then sometimes it's tuning forks, sometimes it's my hand, sometimes it's conversation. Sometimes there's an aha waiting to be extracted in that person to just put two and two together for themselves. Most people know that they're healing. Salutogenesis is our natural state of being. So most people know that what it is that they need to do. They just need some catalyst to help get them moving forward.
So a while ago, I was looking at the literature on healing and emotions, and I read about these 3 aspects of healing: limbic resonance, limbic regulation, and then limbic revision. So the limbic brain of the healer and the healee, as you said, have to resonate. That means they're the same frequency emotionally, or at least empathetically.
Yes.
That's limbic resonance. Limbic, regulation is where the healer, who presumably is in good health themselves, starts to revise the limbic brain of the healee.
Can affect a change.
And then finally, limbic revision. The neural networks actually change.
That's correct.
But in order for the neural networks to change, you have to activate genes as well.
That's right.
And that's an epigenetic phenomenon. So we now get a science for energy healing for what you do.
That's very true. And I believe that one of the key nerves for that is the vagus nerve.
Correct.
And the vagus nerve is a wide body signaling that gives us its afferent and efferent. And it's really incredible in the last few years what's happened with the microbiome and the intelligence of what even our microbes are asking for. We have 90% of the fibers, nerve fibers, are afferent. That means they're going to the brain.
To the brain, from the gut.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting because since you mentioned the vagal nerve, I was at a conference on vagal theory that when you chant, when you do breathing exercises, when you do yoga and also focus, drishti, that you stimulate all the branches of the vagal nerve for for self-regulation or
It's very true.
homeostasis.
And you know what's fascinating about that theory as well? And Stephen Porges came out with
That's
that
right.
the same year
Yeah,
that I was defending my thesis.
I see.
And it was brought to my attention that I needed to potentially include it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so complicated. I'm not sure that I can include that. But what is so fascinating about that theory is that you have myelinated, there's two branches that he speaks about. There's three, but two main ones. The myelinated go up. And these are the newer fibers as we are changing and adapting as mammals. And, and then also the demyelinated, which are the ones that are going below the diaphragm and are connecting to all the viscera. So it's a fascinating phenomenon when we speak about myelination, because and this might help explain why kids come in cable ready. I like to say cable ready, like they're just plugged in, they just know how to work stuff. And myelination allows speed to happen. So we can connect on things so much more quickly if we have good myelination.
Amazing. I didn't know that part.
Good.
I learned something. So we have your website there. What's on the website? What can people find out?
Well, I have a full text and then also a shorter version of the reticular activating system, the vagus, and this little known chakra called the alta major, which all happens to line up right conveniently in the back head. There's a lot more to it. That's there, as well as if you're interested in knowing more about healing or other things that we can do together. I am working on a book we're 95% there with getting this book ready for mainstream, to take it out of such an academic environment, but actually make it so that it's digestible.
So check out Reverend Tiffany Barsotti. The website's there, and you'll learn something.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great.